My wife vanished overnight and left me with 4 kids and an empty suitcase. I found her second phone hidden under a pillow. She drained our savings and ran off. When I tracked the transfers, she said, I needed to feel alive. That was 2 weeks ago. Yesterday, I froze the last account. She's still on the run. I remembered the night in our old kitchen when I caught a glimpse of Heather's second phone sticking out from her purse. That sleek device, once innocent, glinted under the light as I paused mid-sentence. Heather chuckled nervously, brushing it aside with a cold echo of betrayal in her voice. I recalled how I once believed her laugh meant warmth. For a moment, I convinced myself it was nothing, just stress. But that was when the custody battle truly began. Years ago at our son's birthday, the second phone peeked from Heather's coat as she leaned to light candles. I laughed, grateful for her effort, while she whispered, anything for them. My heart swelled. Our family felt unbreakable. She kissed my cheek, masking the cold echo of betrayal already buried. That moment stayed with me through every custody hearing. Each time I was told I needed to prove I was a fit father. I clung to that illusion. The tension spiked the day Heather stormed out, leaving behind her second phone, still unlocked. I scrolled past photos of her and Ethan, our former neighbor, in hotel rooms. The cold echo of betrayal screamed through every pixel. I confronted her that night, and she deflected, accusing me of being paranoid. The children watched us from the hallway. That same night, I received a call from CPS. Someone had reported me. My mind raced. Was this her plan? Days later, Heather posted photos online of bruises on herself, on the kids. I froze. She tagged vague captions like finally free, and blocked me. The cold echo of betrayal spread with every share. I contacted my lawyer, panicked. My eldest whispered, Dad, we know you didn't hurt anyone. But the school called, concerned, confused. Heather had filed for emergency custody. That night, I held the second phone tight, knowing it was now my only way to prove truth. I visited David, my brother, hoping for support. He scanned the CPS report and said, you need proof, Mike, fast. He suggested Heather's mother might help, said she'd been suspicious too. But when I called, her tone was sharp. Don't contact me again. A red herring. The cold echo of betrayal now echoed even from those I thought neutral. That night, I backed up Heather's old texts from the second phone, praying for something that could clear my name. Everything shattered when I confronted Heather during the custody mediation. I laid out printed texts, hotel receipts, and photos evidence from the second phone. Her face went rigid. The room fell silent. My attorney spoke calmly, but Heather snapped, claiming I'd hacked her. The cold echo of betrayal rang louder than her voice. The mediator leaned forward, reviewing each document. I looked at my kids through the glass window, vowing this fight wasn't about revenge. It was for them. The next day, the judge postponed the hearing, citing insufficient clarity. Heather smiled outside the courtroom, smug, rehearsed. That cold echo of betrayal returned in her posture, in the way she held Ethan's hand like nothing was wrong. My lawyer whispered, they're buying time. I felt gutted. CPS still had our case open. The second phone alone wasn't enough. I needed a witness, something undeniable. But for now, she walked free, and I returned to an empty house. That evening, I found my youngest daughter crying, holding a drawing Heather and Ethan, labeled New Family. My heart buckled. The cold echo of betrayal had reached even their crayons. I knelt, asking gently, who told you that? She whispered, Mom said you're too angry to be with us. I clenched my fists, breath shallow. This wasn't just manipulation. It was war on my children's minds, and I was losing. I swore then, I'd turn this around or die trying. Just when I thought things couldn't spiral further, I received an anonymous envelope. Photos of Heather meeting with a family law consultant months before her disappearance. The timestamp predated her abuse claims. The cold echo of betrayal screamed from every glossy print. Someone had helped her plan this. I scanned the metadata sent from a burner account. Could it be someone close? I forwarded it to my attorney. The game had changed. Now, I wasn't just defending, I was hunting. Heather's ex-friend Lauren called me late that night. I can't keep quiet anymore, she whispered. She confessed Heather had boasted about planting bruises on herself, ice and makeup, before taking photos. The cold echo of betrayal bled through every word. Lauren agreed to testify if I protected her anonymity. I recorded the call, trembling. For the first time, I had real leverage. This wasn't just a custody battle now. It was an unraveling of her entire constructed facade. I dug deeper and found Heather had withdrawn nearly $20,000 slowly, methodically over 6 months, funneling it into a hidden account. The cold echo of betrayal thundered in every statement. Her plan had roots far before the fallout. I presented the records to my lawyer. This isn't just deceit, he said. It's financial abuse. My hands shook. Heather wasn't desperate. She was deliberate. And now, I had the paper trail to begin unraveling it in court. A digital forensics expert extracted deleted texts from the second phone conversations between Heather and Ethan, plotting to provoke me, document outbursts, and twist them for court. The cold echo of betrayal seeped through every line. He's breaking. Soon CPS will finish him. I stared at the screen, numb. This wasn't reaction. It was entrapment. My lawyer grinned, grim and ready. We've got enough to bury this. I nodded, rage steady. For my children, I would end this farce. Heather slipped. She sent a mass email meant for Ethan, but accidentally seed the school board. In it, she mocked my parenting, bragged about winning the optics, and called the kids pawns. The cold echo of betrayal reverberated beyond our family. The school principal forwarded it to CPS, concerned. That slip shattered her mask. I printed every line, ready for court. Suddenly, her smug confidence cracked. For once, the truth didn't need my voice. It spoke itself. CPS reopened the investigation, with new focus. A social worker visited unannounced and found Ethan yelling at my son. The child flinched. The cold echo of betrayal now echoed from a stranger's mouth. Reports shifted. Suddenly, I wasn't the dangerous one Heather and Ethan were. I received a call, emergency custody review scheduled. I dropped to my knees, overwhelmed. Not victory yet, but the tide had turned. This time, they'd be forced to answer under oath. At the emergency hearing, Lauren appeared. Hood up, voice steady. She testified under oath, recounting Heather's exact words. If I make him look violent, I'll get full custody. The courtroom fell into stunned silence. The cold echo of betrayal now echoed in legal transcripts. Heather's lawyer fumbled, asking for recess. The judge denied it. My attorney leaned over, whispering, "This is it." For the first time, I let myself believe it. Truth was finally louder than her lies. Ethan tried to intervene, claiming the texts were fake. The judge ordered a forensic cross-match. Within hours, the report confirmed metadata, time, stamped, geotagged, irrefutable. The cold echo of betrayal now had coordinates and context. Heather's face drained of color. My children sat quietly behind me, watching. For once, they weren't afraid. The lies were unraveling publicly. I turned slightly, locking eyes with Heather. No words, just the silence of truth breaking through her constructed reality. Heather's attorney requested immediate withdrawal, citing ethical conflict. She stood alone, flipping through papers with shaking hands. The cold echo of betrayal now turned inward. She was crumbling in real time. The judge ordered a child welfare specialist to speak privately with the kids. Minutes later, the recommendation was clear. Full temporary custody to me, supervised visits for Heather. My throat tightened. I didn't celebrate. I just looked at my kids, and saw relief return to their eyes. That night after the ruling, my eldest son handed me the second phone. "You should keep it," he said. "It saved us." I stared at the device, once a weapon, now a shield. The cold echo of betrayal still lingered, but softer now, fading under truth. We ordered pizza, sat on the floor, and laughed, really laughed, for the first time in months. I wasn't whole yet, but I was no longer bleeding. We were finally breathing again. 2 days later, CPS closed the case, clearing me of all accusations. Officially, completely. I stared at the letter, hands trembling. The cold echo of betrayal couldn't erase this moment. I framed the notice and hung it near the kids' chore chart. Proof that lies could be undone. My lawyer filed for permanent custody, citing emotional abuse by Heather. The battle wasn't over, but the fear was. Now, we were no longer surviving. We were stabilizing. Heather tried one last move, claiming emotional distress and requesting custody mediation. But the judge had seen enough. "Your credibility is in question," he said flatly, her voice cracked. The cold echo of betrayal was now her burden to carry. I didn't speak. I didn't need to. My silence was louder than any accusation she ever made. Outside the courtroom, my youngest grabbed my hand and said, "Can we go home now?" This time, I said yes. At home, I cleaned out the last drawer she had touched. Inside was an old family photo, torn, folded, taped together. The second phone lay beneath it, silent now. The cold echo of betrayal seemed sealed inside both. I held the photo a moment, then tossed it. My kids didn't need fragments, they needed foundation. I picked up my son's science project, sat beside him, and said, "Let's finish this together." His smile was my answer. At school drop-off, a teacher pulled me aside. "Your daughter's been drawing again, happy stuff this time." She handed me a crayon sketch of us holding hands. The cold echo of betrayal faded into warm pencil strokes. I thanked her, voice tight. That night, I taped the drawing beside our fridge calendar. It wasn't proof for court. It was proof we were healing. No judge could see it, but I could, and that was enough for now. During dinner, my middle child spoke up, unbeat before the GAME legted. Mezar's house closed any mode. The room went still. I set down my fork. "Why?" He shrugged, eyes down. "It doesn't feel real there." The cold echo of betrayal cracked again. This time from their lips. I didn't celebrate. I just nodded and said, "You're safe here." That night, I emailed our therapist. Healing wasn't just happening to me. It was happening through all of us. Ethan showed up at soccer practice uninvited. My son froze. I walked over calmly, stood between them and said, "Leave." His smirk faded. The coach stepped in, backing me. That cold echo of betrayal, once theirs to wield, now recoiled in the face of boundaries. I filed a restraining order that same afternoon. My son hugged me tight that night. Thanks for not letting him talk to me. I held back tears. Finally, they knew I'd protect them. The restraining order was approved within 48 hours. Ethan was barred from school grounds and child-related events. Heather filed no objection. That silence spoke volumes. The cold echo of betrayal began to recede under court orders and locked calendars. I updated the school, notified neighbors, and installed new cameras. My home became a fortress not of walls, but of presence. That night, my daughter whispered, "I like it when it's quiet." I whispered back, "Me too." I enrolled in a co-parenting education course, not because I had to, but to show the court I was ready. My instructor nodded at my file. "You're doing more than required." I shrugged. "They're my kids." The cold echo of betrayal no longer stung. It motivated. Each module completed felt like reclaiming a piece of our future. The judge later noted it in the hearing. Proactive, committed. 2 words I hadn't heard in months. I held onto them. At the final review hearing, the judge turned to me and said, "Your home shows consistency, safety, and emotional growth." Heather sat expressionless. The cold echo of betrayal seemed to shrink beside her silence. The court granted me full legal and physical custody. Supervised visits were capped at once a month. I didn't gloat. I just nodded, then looked at my children. They smiled, not because I'd won, but because they knew this time I wouldn't disappear. Weeks after the ruling, I found the second phone buried in a drawer. I paused, stared at it, then powered it off. Forever. The cold echo of betrayal no longer controlled me. That night, we cooked dinner together, burned the chicken, laughed anyway. I watched my kids dance in the living room, socks sliding on hardwood. No tension, no fear, just noise, the good kind, the kind we used to have, the kind we'd finally rebuilt. Together, in the quiet aftermath, I sat on the porch holding the second phone one last time. I asked myself, how did I miss the signs? The cold echo of betrayal no longer pulsed faintly, like a memory fading. Memories of beach trips and bedtime stories clashed with CPS visits and custody hearings. I realized I hadn't lost everything, just the illusion. What remained was real, my children, my role, my fight. And I wasn't done protecting them. I stood in my son's room, watching him sleep with a half-finished book on his chest. Months ago, he'd flinch in his dreams. Now, he breathed steady. I realized safety isn't just absence of danger. It's presence of consistency. The cold echo of betrayal couldn't reach this moment. I whispered, "You're safe," even though he couldn't hear it. But I could, and for the first time I believed it. Not just for him, for me too. I joined a local support group. Parents navigating betrayal and custody battles. At first, I sat in silence, then I shared our story. Heads nodded, tears welled. I wasn't alone. The cold echo of betrayal had once isolated me. Now it connected me. After the meeting, someone said, "Your kids are lucky you stayed." I didn't say much back, just smiled. But inside, something shifted. I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was starting to guide others forward. One morning, I opened a fresh notebook and wrote 6 words. Protect, listen, lead, forgive, rebuild. Love. I taped it above my desk. The cold echo of betrayal still tried to creep in during quiet moments, but this list was louder. Each word was earned. Each one anchored me. I wasn't the same man Heather tried to break. I was a father with purpose. And from now on, I would raise my children without fear, only with truth. Heather was ordered to attend parenting classes and psychological evaluations before any unsupervised contact. Ethan vanished. His name scrubbed from school records, his number blocked. The cold echo of betrayal now echoed only in court orders and email filters. My lawyer said, "This outcome most never get it." I nodded, knowing it came at a price, but it brought peace. Heather's consequences weren't just legal, they were visible in the distance she now kept from the children's lives. Now, having rebuilt our routines, I sit with the second phone boxed in storage while the kids draw beside me. I no longer fear silence. It means peace, not plotting. The cold echo of betrayal has dulled into a lesson. We eat together, laugh again, and argue over homework like any normal family. The road ahead is long, with check-ins and counseling, but we walk it hand in hand. I am Michael, their father, their shield, their steady ground. Months later, I spoke at a family law forum, sharing my story. Truth, fear, and survival. Afterward, a woman approached crying. "You gave me hope," she said. The cold echo of betrayal had once silenced me. Now, my voice helped others speak. I returned home to find my daughter had drawn us. Just me and the kids under a bright sun. No shadows, no second phone, just light. We hadn't just survived Heather's betrayal. We'd rebuilt something stronger.